Alright, in this session, we'll talk about 3 magical steps that can take your confidence to 100 times your current level in less than 2 minutes. Actually, no. We'll talk about a step-by-step systematic plan that you can use to grow and cultivate your confidence over time. My name is Prashant and I am an engineer MBA from IIT Kharagpur. I am Ahmedabad with 20 years of entrepreneurial experience. I am a corporate speaker, an author and a martial arts instructor. And on this channel, we talk about smart thinking strategies for young people. Now, the one big important thing about confidence is that it is an extremely important and powerful force. Would not be an exaggeration to say that just as oxygen is a must for your body to function, similarly, confidence is a must for me to get any action out of me. See, my brain is essentially a highly energy intensive organ. Out of all organs in the body, it is the one that uses maximum amount of energy. So it also has a tendency to conserve energy. It is always looking for opportunities to save energy, and the moment it finds an opportunity to save energy, it will have a very strong tendency to take it. Now, the brain also is a prediction machine. Whenever I am in a situation, let's say I am trying to go after a goal, let's say I want to become the salesman of the month, or maybe I want to crack a medical entrance examination, or maybe I'm just trying to impress my crush in the office or in college. Whatever be the situation, my brain simulates the next 3, 4, 5, 10 steps. It tries to predict what the outcome is going to be, and if it predicts success, which is incidentally the high confidence state, so if it predicts success, it becomes very, very generous with the amount of energy it budgets to that particular action, and you feel a surge of energy and a surge of all good emotions, and taking action becomes very easy. Whereas if you predict failure, if the brain predicts failure, which is the classical low confidence state, suddenly the brain sees an opportunity to save energy. Well, in this mission, when the outcome is going to be a failure, why should I even spend any energy in this? And the brain goes into energy preservation mode, and suddenly it becomes very difficult for you to extract any action out of it. And this leads us into the second characteristic of confidence, which is a bit of irony. See, when I am low on confidence, what do? I go to some YouTube channel, watching a video like this, or I go to a book which I want to read and which I feel will give me confidence, or I talk to somebody face to face who I think will be able to inject this dose of confidence in me. Now, the problem there is that the guy who has created a video on confidence, or the guy who's written a book on confidence, or the guy who's giving me face-to-face tips on how to become confident, all of these are fundamentally confident people. Maybe they were confident right from their birth, or maybe their childhood training has made them confident, whatever be the reason, but those are confident people. Whereas I am an underconfident person. The difference is very similar to looking at highly good looking people, looking at Aishwarya Rai, for example, and asking her what is the secret of her beauty, and how can I also become as beautiful as she is. And the problem is that there is no secret to her beauty. She just is beautiful. Similarly, the people who are confident, they themselves don't know why they are confident, because they have not done anything specific to become confident. And so when I go and ask them how I can become confident, the question or the situation becomes very similar to me going to Aishwarya Rai or Deepika Padukone and asking them, how can I become beautiful like them? Now, they are beautiful. They get up in the morning, hair all messy, and they look in the mirror and they feel beautiful. So if you press them, how can I become beautiful? Well, all they can probably say is, you feel beautiful from the inside. Obviously, it is much easier for you to feel beautiful from the inside, because you are Aishwarya Rai or because you are Deepika Padukone. I, for myself, am barely presentable most of the times. So for me to just feel beautiful, want to feel beautiful, and I start feeling beautiful, that becomes very difficult. And the problem is similar on the confidence side of the equation. If I am an underconfident person, then for me to feel confident and somehow feel that surge of energy becomes very difficult. So that is the second problem, that most of the confidence help actually does not address the problem that the person who's giving the tip or the solution is essentially somebody who's naturally confident. Somebody who's taking it is somebody who's naturally not very confident. So how do you bridge that gap? And this is where the third piece of the puzzle comes in handy. Confidence is a muscle. Just as building muscle takes daily workout and you being careful about your nutrition and eating the right things, similarly building the muscle of confidence also needs daily set of certain actions, certain inputs, certain ideas that you feed your mind, and certain junk that you keep out of your head. And just as there can be no magic solution that gives you 17-inch bicep in just 2 minutes, similarly, there can be no magic solution that will give you 100 times confidence in just 2 minutes. You will have to build that muscle. Now, how do you build that muscle? In nature, the things that grow essentially follow a cyclical pattern, a spiral pattern. You have quantity A here and you have quantity B here. And quantity A leads to quantity B. Quantity B leads to some extra quantity A. Quantity A then leads to extra quantity B, and this is how this cycle keeps on moving. Looking at the space of confidence from this angle, you have confidence, which is the quantity A, and this confidence leads to some success. Now, success we are defining as any task that you complete. So we are not looking at success as the ultimate result that you are going after. No. We are breaking down that definition, and the definition of success is essentially any task that you complete. And the task can be as small as you want it to be. But the condition is completion. So choose whatever task that you want to choose the easiest task that you want to choose, and complete it. So that becomes success. Now, in this confidence success loop, I'm standing here and I have some amount of confidence. So with that some amount of confidence, I take some action and I complete one task that creates some amount of success. Now this success that I have created becomes an evidence of success for my brain, and my brain, when it is standing here and when it is trying to predict the outcome, the tendency that it will predict success increases. And so this success is essentially giving me some extra confidence. Now I don't sit on that extra confidence and let it go waste, let it discharge. I essentially use that confidence to take some more action. And that extra action leads to extra success, which leads to some more extra confidence. And this extra confidence, then extra success leads to extra confidence. And as long as I keep this cycle going on, my confidence side also builds up, my success side also builds up. So that is how the more you keep this cycle going, this chakki going, the more confident you become. Now, but again, we come back to the problem of me as an underconfident person. Now, what happens when the cycle has not even started yet? When I'm standing here, I have zero confidence, so I cannot get any action done. I have not found any success. What do you do in that case? Your cycle, just like when an engine is stalled, is not running, you need to give it a kick start, you need to give it a jump start. Similarly, you need to jump start your confidence success cycle. And how do you do that? A technique that comes very handy here is the technique of visualization. Now, this technique I first read about in 1994 as a class 12th student. The book was Raj Bapna's Mind Power Techniques, and what he says is very interesting. He says you sit down in a nice quiet place, comfortably sit down, and you think of your past, think of some big success that you achieved in the past, and you relive that moment. And it can be something very small. It could just be that in class 4th you came first in a 100-meter race, and you go back to that moment and you feel the actual event. You are running and your colleagues, your classmates are running with you, and you are running ahead of everybody else, and then you hit the winning mark and everybody claps and your coach hugs you and your parents hug you and they give you a medal and everybody is congratulating you, and you feel all those emotions, and that puts you into a high energy state, a high positive energy state. And when you are in that high positive energy state, you take some action. you generate an evidence of success. That is what you do. You don't sit on this high energy and let it go waste. It is like the charge on your battery. Even if you don't do anything, it will discharge in some time. So you don't let it ideally discharge. You take that energy, do some action, create some success. Now this success creates some extra confidence, and then that extra confidence creates some extra success, and this cycle gets started. So, and this visualization, you can do this activity again and again. Every time, in fact, you are going to start the work that is going to take you to your mission, you essentially do this visualization. You do this visualization exercise, even if you do it for 2 minutes. And you can start with thinking about your biggest past success. You can go to second biggest, third biggest, fourth biggest success. You can also start visualizing your future successes. You can start, you sit in your chair comfortably and you think of the day when you will be announced as the salesman of the month. You have your sales manager coming up, congratulating you. Everybody is clapping, and then they are giving you a ticket to Bangkok or whatever place they give in your company. Or you imagine that you've cleared the medical entrance results have been announced and you've succeeded, and everybody is coming and congratulating you, and even the neighborhood Sharma ji is also coming, and Sharma ji ka ladka is also coming and congratulating you. So you feel those emotions and you get into that high energy state, and you don't waste that high energy state. While you are in that state, you take some action, and that action creates the evidence of success, and you keep on moving in this cycle. The powerful thing about this cycle is that you don't have to worry about the quantities. As long as this cycle keeps on moving, your success side also keeps accumulating, your confidence side also keeps accumulating. It is essentially an additive function. Both these quantities keep on increasing as long as you keep this cycle going. And going this cycle is essentially the activity that you got to focus on. How do you implement this cycle in your particular context? Again, you'll have to be smart about it. There can be no standard method which will work for everybody, because everybody's situation is different, the goals are different, the current skill level would be different, how badly or how easily or how difficult or easy it is for you to do those things, all of that would be different. So how do you implement this confidence success cycle is something that you will have to decide, and you will have to design, and you will have to think about. The good thing there is you don't have to get it right the first time. Just start with the cycle, start the cycle going, and as the cycle keeps on going, you'll keep on improving. The improvements will keep on coming. It doesn't have to be perfect on the first go. In the first go, the only need is that the cycle gets started. And when you get started on the cycle and you keep the cycle going, you'll see your confidence rise spectacularly. That's all in this episode. We'll connect soon with something different, something very powerful. Bye-bye.